Have you ever pondered why life seems to slow down as we age, not in the sense of movement, but in the way we perceive things? Why do the struggles that once felt urgent now seem trivial? Why do battles that once demanded our energy no longer seem worth the fight? Aging brings a profound shift in perspective, a quiet wisdom that whispers, not everything needs your response. Not every battle needs a warrior. And sometimes the smartest thing you can do is to play the fool. This is not about surrendering your voice or letting go of your independence. It is about something far greater, the power of choosing peace over pride, patience over impulse, and wisdom over the need to always be right. In the golden years of life, pretending not to notice certain things is not an act of weakness. It is a masterful strategy for protecting your happiness. Here are 7 times when playing stupid is the smartest thing you can do. 1. When your family makes decisions without you, let them think you don't mind. There comes a point in life when the people who once relied on you begin making choices on your behalf. It happens subtly at first, a doctor's appointment scheduled without your input, a financial decision made for your conviction for your autonomy without forcing a confrontation. The goal is not to fight for control, but to foster understanding. When you approach the situation with grace rather than frustration, you don't just reclaim your voice, you teach them to truly hear it. 2. When people underestimate you, let them think they know better. There is a quiet shift that happens as you grow older. One day, without warning, people stop seeing you as an individual full of experiences, skills, and wisdom. Instead, they see only your age. They assume you are slower, less capable, less in touch with the world. The store clerk speaks to you like a child. A younger colleague explains something you have long understood. A family member rushes to help before you've even asked. It is not always meant as an insult, but it carries the weight of one. The temptation, of course, is to correct them, to remind them of the life you have lived, the lessons you have learned, the hardships you have endured. You may want to tell them about the technology you mastered before they were born, the businesses you built, the wars you fought, whether on battlefields or within yourself. But here is the truth. True wisdom is knowing you have nothing to prove. Let them think they know better. Let them assume you are unfamiliar, outdated, unaware. Because in doing so, you gain something far more powerful than their approval. You gain freedom. When people underestimate you, they reveal more about themselves than about you. And when you resist the need to correct them, you retain your peace. Then when the moment is right, when they least expect it, you can remind them through action, not words, that they never really knew you at all. The sharp mind, the steady hands, the depth of your knowledge, it was always there, waiting. And nothing is more satisfying than watching their quiet realization that they had you wrong all along. 3. When family arguments erupt, let them think you didn't hear. Family is a beautiful, complicated thing. It holds the deepest love, but also the deepest wounds. As the years pass, you begin to notice how certain arguments never seem to fade. Old resentments resurface. Siblings clash over responsibilities, and children debate values as if they must choose sides. Voices rise, tempers flare, and suddenly the room is thick with tension. It is tempting to step in, to offer wisdom earned through decades of experience. After all, you have seen these same conflicts play out before, perhaps in different forms, but always following the same patterns. You know that what feels urgent now will soon be forgotten, that time has a way of softening even the sharpest disagreements. But here is what wisdom teaches. Not every battle needs a referee, and not every conflict needs a solution. Let them think you didn't hear. Let them believe you are uninterested, distracted, or too lost in thought to notice the tension. Not because you don't care, but because you understand something they do not yet grasp. Silence is sometimes the most powerful response. A well-timed pause, a look of quiet patience, or even a gentle redirection can do more to diffuse a situation than any argument ever could. In time, they will come to understand what you already know. Family is not about winning or losing. It is about enduring. It is about learning when to let go, when to forgive, and when to step back so that love has room to do its quiet work. And when the dust settles, they will not remember who shouted the loudest. They will, for a while. The world moves faster than it once did. A time not long ago, letters were written by hand, news came from the paper, and a handshake sealed an agreement. Now everything is instant. Messages, payments, information, even relationships. Technology is no longer just a tool, it is the language of the modern world, spoken fluently by those who were born into it. And yet for those who live before the digital age, it can sometimes feel like being dropped into a foreign country without a map. You could struggle against it, try to prove that you can master every new device, every update, every shifting trend. It gives them something invaluable, a sense of purpose, a way to give back. For so many years, they learned from you. Now they have the chance to return the favor, even if they do not realize it. And then, when they least expect it, surprise them. Send a perfectly timed text. Adjust the settings on your phone without asking. Learn just enough to remind them that wisdom does not need to shout. It only needs to observe, absorb, and wait. Technology may belong to the younger generation, but patience and adaptability? Those belong to you. Let them believe they are leading, while all the while you are quietly reminding them that learning never truly stops, not at any age. 5. When people criticize your choices, let them think you don't care. As the years pass, one of life's great ironies becomes clear. No matter how much wisdom you have gathered, there will always be people who think they know better. They will question your decisions, how you spend your money, what you eat, where you travel, how you choose to fill your days. They may do it out of concern, out of habit, or simply because they cannot help themselves. But the truth is, their opinions are just that, opinions. And they do not deserve to take up space in your mind. It is tempting to defend yourself, to explain why you live the way you do, to prove that every choice you make is intentional and well-earned. But here is what age teaches. Explanations are often wasted on those who have already decided what they think. The stronger your defense, the more they will push. So why engage at all? Let them think you do not care. Let them assume their words roll off your back like water. Smile, nod, say something simple like, "I appreciate your thoughts." Then go on living exactly as you please. Because at this stage in life, you have nothing to prove and everything to enjoy. The only approval that truly matters is your own. Let others talk if they must. You, however, will be too busy savoring the life you have built, on your own terms, in your own time, and without the weight of anyone else's expectations. 6. When political or religious debates begin, let them think you agree. There was a time when people could disagree and still walk away as friends, when conversations about politics and faith were not battlegrounds but exchanges of ideas. Respect was not measured by agreement, but by the ability to listen. But the world has changed. Now opinions have become armor, and conversations have turned into wars where the goal is not to understand, but to win. You have lived long enough to see the patterns. Leaders rise and fall. Movements come and go. What was once considered radical becomes accepted, and what was once sacred is challenged. Through it all, you have learned one of life's most valuable lessons. Arguing rarely changes minds, but it almost always changes relationships. And so when the voices around you grow loud, when people try to pull you into a debate that will serve no purpose, let them think you agree. Not because you do, but because peace is worth more than proving a point. A simple nod, a neutral phrase, "I see where you're coming from," can diffuse a conversation before it turns into conflict. You do not need to betray your beliefs, nor do you need to defend them at every turn. Your faith, your values, your understanding of the world, they do not need validation from others to be real. Let them talk, let them argue, let them believe they have convinced you. And then when the noise fades and the moment passes, carry on exactly as you always have, knowing that wisdom is not measured by how loudly you speak, but by how deeply you understand that some battles are not worth the fight. 7. When someone tries to take advantage of your kindness, let them think you're considering it. Kindness is a rare and beautiful thing, a gift that should be given freely. but only to those who appreciate it. Over the years, you have spent a lifetime offering help, lending a hand, and being there for others in ways both big and small. It is who you are, but with time you also come to see another truth. Not everyone values kindness. Some see it as an opportunity, a weakness to be exploited rather than a virtue to be honored. There will always be those who ask too much, who only appear when they need something, who expect your generosity without ever giving in return. A distant relative who suddenly reaches out when money is involved, a friend who takes but never offers, a stranger who assumes your good nature means you can be pressured into saying yes. It can be tempting to call them out, to refuse outright, to show them that you see through their intentions. But wisdom teaches a different approach. Instead of reacting, pause. Let them think you are considering it. Say, "Let me think about it." This simple phrase gives you time and space. Space to assess whether their request is genuine, space to decide on your terms rather than on theirs. It shifts the power back to you. Those who respect you will wait. Those who only see you as a means to an end will push harder, revealing exactly who they are. You have spent years caring for others, and that is something to be proud of. But now you have also earned the right to protect your energy, your time, and your peace. True kindness is not about saying yes to everyone, it is about knowing when to say no. The quiet strength of letting go. There is a kind of power that comes with age, one that is not about force or control, but about understanding when to act and when to let things be. It is the wisdom to know that not every battle is worth fighting, not every slight requires a response, and not every moment demands your correction. In a world that often values noise over thoughtfulness and urgency over patience, choosing when to remain silent is an act of quiet strength. You have lived long enough to see the patterns of life repeat themselves. You know that people will always underestimate those who have walked further down the road. That family will sometimes forget the depth of your wisdom in their rush to help. That the world will assume you are falling behind when in truth you are simply seeing things from a higher vantage point. You understand that some arguments are circular, that some minds are closed, and that some requests come not from sincerity, but from convenience. With this knowledge, you are free. There is no need to prove yourself. Your life has already spoken for you in the lessons you have learned, the love you have given, the battles you have fought and won. There is nothing left to earn, no validation needed from those who have yet to walk in your shoes. So let them think what they will. Let them believe you are unaware, indifferent, or even incapable if that is what brings you peace. In the end, it is not their opinions that shape your life, but your own choices. Aging is not a retreat from the world. It is a transition into a new kind of wisdom. It is the art of letting go, not of joy or purpose, but of the need to be understood, the desire to be right, the exhaustion of proving your worth over and over again. The greatest gift you can give yourself is the freedom to live on your own terms with no obligation to justify, defend, or explain. In the quiet spaces of patience and understanding, true wisdom is found. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.